Eyup Cop, top end of the championship's done. So you probably sat here thinking, what's pointing him on? Why would I even watch this? Because there's about 18 teams down at bottom that could still go down. So there's still a lot to play for. However, first game is Battle of the Losers. We've got Stoke and Sheffield United on Friday night. Sheffield United doomed to third. They actually can't finish even fourth, can they? They are just actually locked into third. Sunderland are locked into fourth. So that's two of playoff sides done already. Stoke are more or less fine. They are on 50 points. They're more or less fine, and they've been on really good form recently until getting absolutely cock-slapped start to finish by Leeds. But they're probably fine anyway. I don't know what approach Wilder and Sheffield United are going to take. If they go and rest all the players now, if he goes and switches it up big time. Because obviously they are going to be down in dumps. They're going to be like high-key depressed, these Sheffield United players, that they can't get autos now. I think with nature of some players that do just flirt between Championship and Premier League 24/7, like a lot of these players, maybe they've got 1 foot out already. Do you know what I mean? Maybe they're not like completely locked in as they once were. 4 losses out of the last 5 probably does back that up. I'm not going to lie to you. Some of them are probably thinking about, no, I'm going to get a Premier League move anyway, so I don't care what happens here now. They've lost the last 3 away games as well, Sheffield United. Once to Burnley, which is fair enough, but to Oxford and Plymouth as well. So against poorer sides, more recently, they've not been good. After a really, really consistent year away from home as well. Stoke at home aren't actually that bad. Like, it's a lot of close games again, and I do think this will be one of them. I don't think there's not going to be another 6-0. Let's put it that way. I do honestly think Stoke will be up for it a little bit more here. Like, I don't think Sheffield United will come here and win. Definitely not. After losing 4 out of the last 5, I don't think they'll come here and win game. I'll probably go quite safe. I think Stoke, realistically, you get 1 more point. 51, you're fine anyway. So I think both would probably be happy with a draw. Sheffield United aren't asked what happens with the last 2 games. They just need to play quite well, go into it with a bit of momentum. I'll go 1-1. Kick us off. Stoke, I think, will be safe after this game. After I thought they were in trouble for a long time. Luton Cov at half-12. Oh, this is a great game, man. This is probably game at weekend, this. It's third bottom versus 6th. So much online here. But it's not as easy as saying, oh, well, Coventry going for playoffs, they'll probably win. Luton have won the last 2 games. Away at Derby, a relegation-threatened side, and then at home to Bristol City, a playoff-chasing side. So, Luton, if anybody is going to get out about that bottom 3 with Plymouth and Cardiff, it's going to be these. But Coventry have got a lot to play for it. It's obviously still in their hands, this. Because the 3 points in front of Middlesbrough, and they've got Middlesbrough last game. But Millwall are on the horizon as well, and if Millwall beat Swansea, then who knows? I think Coventry are normally quite good against crap sides, until last week when they lost to Plymouth. And I do really, really like the width that Coventry have got. Like, Hadji Wright starts out wide a lot of time, doesn't he? That Sakamoto's good. The good down whips, especially that right back. Van Eejwick, whatever his name is. He's a player, that lad. And more recently, Luton have been fairly compact through middle anyway this season. I do think a lot of time it is down the width that they get caught out, and the defensive gaps and the positioning is just miles off with a back 3 a lot of time. But I'm liking the midfield as it goes on a little bit more. I don't honestly know what to say for this. I do think it's going to be probably won and lost out wings for Coventry if they are to really come here and go for it. But I don't think that Luton will lose. They've got too much online here. I don't think they'll lose. I think it could go down to last day with Coventry and Middlesbrough. And Millwall. Because if Millwall win and all 3 are on 66 or something, if Middlesbrough win theirs going to last game, that would be absolute championship box office. I think Luton win 2-1. Tough game that to predict. Another one. Would not recommend betting on this one. Or anything that I say in general. QPR Burnley. It's like, this is a dead rubber now, innit? Burnley have obviously got a title to go for. But them and Leeds will have both been on piss. But probably still now. They're probably still drunk. And QPR will have to turn it around a little bit. They've won 2 out of the last 4. They've not lost in 4 before Swansea came and bet them 2-1. But Swansea are a good side now as well. Let's take that away from them. Burnley have obviously got promoted. Who do I think will be up for it more? Burnley or QPR in this game? Burnley to go for a title or QPR to go for absolutely nothing. But to be fair, Burnley will maybe want to keep the defensive side of things up. And they've only lost 2 games all season, so I don't think they'll lose. I think they'll win 2-1. Why not? I honestly, I can't see them coming with their feet up. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, they have still got a title that they can win. I do think they'll come and win this game. And QPR have got absolutely nothing at all to play for. So I'll go 2-1 Burnley. Blackburn, Watford. Again, a lot of these sides haven't got anything to do now, have they? A lot of mid-table sides. These are hardest games definitely to predict. Because this is 9th and 12th playing each other. Yeah, Blackburn are 4 points off, but they're not going to get in there. Watford are done. How do you call this? How? None of them have got anything online. The integrity of these games means nothing. I ain't got a clue. I would probably just edge Blackburn. I mean, Blackburn have won 3 in a row here. One's against Sunderland, one's against Millwall, one's against Luton. So you've got a variety of teams there. 2 like, well, Sunderland definitely in playoffs. Millwall are chasing it. Luton trying to stay up. And that's only lost that Luton have got in a while, that as well, to be fair. And Watford have lost, what, 4 out of the last 5 games? Watford have lost. Their only win were at home to Hull. I think Ismail's got them going a little bit. Some very dodgy scorelines, though, with Blackburn. Like 2 1-0s and a 4-1 in the last 3 games. Very strange. But Watford, even though they are losing games, they're not getting hammered. They're all close games. Not one of them have they lost by more than 1 goal. So I do think it'll be a close, edgy one again. But we know it's online. I don't think it'll be big scorers anyway. I'll probably go like a 1-0 Blackburn again, just to keep that trend up. 4 wins in a row. And to be fair, if they win and Coventry do lose this, it does take them to the last game anyway. So they might somehow sneak in there on last Blackburn. I doubt it, but there's still that little sliver of hope that maybe with 2 games left they could get in there after a really shit year off pitch. But I'll still with 1-0. Oh, this is massive, you know. Cardiff and West Brom. This is a really, really big chance. This is, I know I've said this like for 4 weeks in a row for Cardiff now, but if this is not your last chance, I do not know what is. West Brom are so out of form. They've just lost at home to Derby. They've sacked Mowbray. They've got no to play for. They like actually can't get in. I mean, they're 6 points up, but they're not going to get in. They're like, be serious. This is such a big chance for Cardiff. But then at the same time, like, the last 5 or 6 games they've not won, and they're against all crap sides. Apart from Sheffield United, they're against all crap sides. The last 2 home games, Stoke at home, right, who are what, 17th, and Oxford at home, who are 19th. 2 games that you'd pray for them sort of games at end of season, wouldn't you? And they've got 1 point out on both. Oh God. I mean, at least, you know what? Stoke and Oxford both had something to play for. West Brom have not. West Brom have sacked the manager. West Brom have been crap for ages. Going forward, they offer so little, it's unbelievable. Cardiff haven't been that bad defensively for a while. They don't concede more than 2 goals, like, ever, really. But they're also doing naff all going forward. But this is the chance to win in it. I might just make everything interesting, you know, and just, like, make it so every single thing goes to the last game. I don't think West Brom win. Honestly, I do not see West Brom winning this game. I can't. Like, if you're losing it on to Derby, come on. You're not going to win this one, are you, surely? Cardiff have got to go for it. They've got to go and win. There's going to be at least a goal. There's not going to be a 0-0 because West Brom at least will break on a counter if Cardiff are just pushing men up and men up and men up as far as it goes on this game. Cardiff don't win, they could be down. So they have to chuck bodies at this. They have to try and get goals. They have to try and win. And I think they will. 2-1 Cardiff. Honestly, I think it could be a very, very exciting last day, this. Cardiff, they've got to win this, surely. Crowd will be up for it. Everybody will be up for it. You've got to go for it. So 2-1 Cardiff, I think they'll win. Yeah, they could fully be down. Cardiff could fully be down on Saturday at A5. Hull and Derby next. 20th versus 21st. So at least one of them is going to take points here and pull away from you. Oh, this is really not a good look, you know, for Luton, Cardiff and Plymouth. That these two are both playing each other today. What's worst case here? Probably Derby win is worst case. Hull are on 48 points, Derby on 46, and then Luton on 46, Cardiff on 43, and Plymouth on 43. So worst case is probably Derby winning, and them both being like at least 2 points in front of you. I think if you're Luton, you could probably ask for a draw, because if Luton then win, then they go level on points, willing in front of Derby anyway. It's just the goal difference with that bottom 3 that's keeping them in there, really. And Hull did win against Preston. To be fair, they're really, really crap at home, but they did get something against Preston. Derby's away form is... It's iffy recently. Historically throughout this season, it has been absolutely horrendous. But more recently, they are putting a little bit of something together. Being a little bit harder to beat. Especially against an Hull side that is so crap at home. But they have won 3 out of the last 5 games at home, Hull. But they've only won 5 all season, his main thing, in the bottom of the league if you just went to form form. None of these can afford to not win, really. Hull can take a draw, but then they're risking it going to the last day anyway. Hull can take a draw. And if Luton lose, say, then Hull are fine anyway because of goal difference. But Derby have to win this game. Derby cannot come here asking for a draw or they're in serious trouble. Because the last game's against Stoke as well, I think. So they're in trouble regardless. They need to come here and try and win. Especially, like I said, against a side that's so crap at home. They've got to come here and go for it. Both of these sides aren't the most exciting either. They're not big scorers and they're not really big conceders anyway. They're like just middle at road for a lot of it. They've both got a -9 goal difference. It's better than the 4 or 5 teams above them. They're both very boring, and I wouldn't normally say that it could be a low scorer. But more I think about this, the more I think it will be. I don't really know. I might just go with 1-1. I feel like I can't separate either of them. There might be some dramatic last-minute winner, but I don't think there will. I will stick with 1 apiece here. I've gone back and forth with that so much in the last minute that I've been talking about this. But I'll stick with a draw. Middlesbrough, Norwich. Norwich have sacked the manager. Not surprising. But at the same time, I don't think he's been out by his defenders at all because they're absolutely dog shit and they have been all year. They've had a relegation amount of goals conceded, Norwich. It's been terrible start to finish. Honestly, they've been lucky that they've had Sargent and Borges hands because if they didn't, they'd be in trouble. And next year, they will be in trouble. Unless they go for in fact, it's the most bait thing ever in it. They'll go and get Russell Martin. Played for him for about 17 years. That's nailed on. Russell Martin will be next guy for there. Middlesbrough in 7th. and the need to win really, because even though I've got Coventry losing, if Coventry get a point here, Middlesbrough done. If Middlesbrough don't win, plus it takes them to the last game against them, so it could just be like an ultimate showdown in that match for who gets playoffs on last day. And that were a playoff game of a year, wasn't it? When Luton went up, that were a playoff semi-final, Middlesbrough and Coventry. How poetic. But Norwich have got no to play for. They may be trying to impress in a new manager, but it's only Jack Wilshere on a thingy till end of season anyway, and it's not like a permanent manager's come in and they're playing for him for the last couple of games. It don't really mean anything. Jack Wilshere is not going to get that job. So I don't think Norwich players are going to be up for it that much. They've got a lot of 30-plus-year-old players that just honestly don't look like their ass, and they're on 30, 40 grand a week. I don't think they care. Seriously, I don't think they care. And the results have shown that for ages. They've won once since March, so they're clearly not arsed. Middlesbrough, I think, are arsed, but are just crap. I think that's the difference here. They've lost 3 out of the last 4 games, and they lost to Leeds and Millwall, which are 2 good sides. But losing away at Wednesday is mad. They're so bad at home. I mean, if you can't win here, Middlesbrough, they don't deserve to get in anyway. Like I said, the Norwich defence is crap. Middlesbrough have got good players and all. I think Carrick's failing. I keep saying it, but I think he's failing. If they don't get in here, he needs to go. But you've got to imagine that they get goals here. You've got to. I don't know if Tommy Conway's fit or not, but you've got Finn Azaz, you've got Whittaker, you've got a lot of very good attacking-minded players. They've got to put Norwich at sword here. But I don't think they'll concede still anyway. But I think Middlesbrough will win. They've got to. I think Middlesbrough will win 3-1. They've got to do this. It's so embarrassing if they don't, honestly. Millwall, Swansea. Why do they have to be playing a side that's coming into this with 5 wins in a row in Swansea? Swansea have had no to play for months and months and months, and then they just suddenly put 5 wins on bounce. And they're playing good and all. That's the most infuriating bit. They're playing good stuff. Come on, Millwall. Don't let me down. I believe in you. To be fair, Millwall are on really good form. 4 wins out of the last 5. But then when it got to the point where they could really look like they were getting in there and they had Blackburn away, they went to get hammered. This just reeks of Swansea winning again. This just absolutely stinks. I like a Swansea 1-0. But I'm going to give Millwall a 1-0 instead. I'm just going off pure vibes and belief. Honestly, another one. Do not bet on this game. Do not go on your last man standing with Millwall. Don't do it. Just avoid this game at all costs. Because I think Swansea could win. But I'm going to say, just out of pure delusion and the fact that I like Millwall, that I think Millwall will win this game 1-0. I believe in him. Jaffet Tanganga, player of the year. Defensive clean sheet. Brick shithouse at back. Not getting past that brute I hear he's a 8 player. I believe. Come on, Millwall. This is it. Send it to last day. Oxford and Sunderland. A Sunderland fan said to me that he's going to play his best 11 now with last 2 games. I don't know if he said it in an interview or what. I couldn't find it. But he's been pissing about with lineups so much that they've lost the last 3 games, Sunderland. They've not won in 4 against sides that, honestly, aren't even that good, either, apart from Bristol City, really. But they had 10 men for that for a lot of game anyway. Against an Oxford side who, if they win this game, they're definitely safe. If they draw, I would imagine 58 is fine anyway because they've got a better goal difference than all 3 below them regardless. But I think Oxford could go for this and win. Like, Sunderland have been shit for the last month. Like I said, they keep fiddling about with the lineup. They've not, I don't think he actually knows his best 11, Labrie, for the most part. But they need to, like I've banged on about for ages now, they need to go into this playoffs with some momentum. So they've got to come here and try and win. I hope to God they don't come here and just like take piss, not really that harsh, just have foot off, not really bother what score is and piss about with a little bit too much right back. Go for it properly, because if you win this game, like fairly comfortably as well, I honestly think that'll lift players so much. So I think it could be 2 sides that go for it. Like, I don't think Oxford will set up just defending non-stop. They might do towards end of game, like if they're still drawing or something at 70th, they might start sitting back a little bit. But I don't think Oxford are going to come out here for a draw. I think they could probably win this, which they could. I think there'll be goals. Like, Oxford aren't creating the most. They did very little against Cardiff. They just got an absolute screamer because of Brannigan. So I don't think Oxford will score loads and loads. Sunderland, I think I've got to, almost. So maybe that's my thinking here. But I think Sunderland will get a couple. I think Oxford will score as well, but I think Sunderland... Yeah, I think Sunderland will win. I do. I think if he puts his best 11 out and they go for it properly, there's no reason that they shouldn't win this game. They need to win this last 2 going into it. Or like I've said for a while, I've got no confidence in them at all. But I do think they will win this, probably 2-1. Oxford should still be fine anyway, regardless of what happens here. The goal difference won't take a big hit, and they'll still be like fine regardless going into last day. But it could make for a very squeaky bottom on last one. I'll go for Sunderland 2-1. Preston and Plymouth's got a lot riding on it as well. Like, Preston have been dragged into it from absolutely nowhere. They're on the same points as Oxford here. And obviously they've got a better goal difference than all these sides as well. But Plymouth, I've got 3 wins out of the last 5 games. They have picked up the most points out of anybody, Preston down, in the last 5 games. So, it ain't an easy game, this, for Preston. But the rare lose at home is the thing that's going from here. And although it'd be like some big fairy tale if Plymouth got out, and I think everybody, apart from Exeter, want Plymouth to get out of this. Honestly, I think everybody does want Plymouth to stay up here. They're rooting for him as big underdog here. And the fact that they had Rooney for half a season, so they never really had a chance. And this manager that they've got, I honestly quite like, because I don't think the squad's all that. I think they'd lose minimal players if they went down. There's no real big standouts. Hardy's busy, innit? But there's no real big standouts in this side. But I do think this is probably where it ends. I don't think Preston will lose at home till Plymouth. I know the last game to QPR got no to play for, but before that, in league, you're looking at November for when they last lost a home game, Preston, and it was to Bristol City. They've had a lot of good points, and they do draw a lot of games, but they've had a lot of very good games against much, much better sides than Plymouth, regardless of form that they're on, and the fact that they're fighting for their lives. I think it's absolutely nailed on to be a draw, this. Nailed on. Just so that Plymouth are just too far away of getting out, well, last day. I think it's set up perfectly to end in tears for Plymouth this game, sadly. I want them to win. I want Preston to be dragged into it. I don't care about Preston, but I would like them to be dragged into it on last game to just keep more teams with something to play for. But I think they'll draw this game. I do not think Preston lose it on to Plymouth, put it that way. So I'll go with a 1-1. Not loads of goals. I could see a 0-0 as well, but Plymouth will chuck bodies late on. So I'll go with a 1-1. Wednesday in Portsmouth. Oh, it's a dead rubber now. Portsmouth are mathematically safe. Wednesday in 13th, no to play for. Again, I don't really know how to call this because it's two sides that do not give one flying toss about what happens. Wednesday, I know they won against Middlesbrough, but they do look like they're on beach. They're not creating loads and loads. Crowd's flat. Who cares? You know what I mean? Portsmouth might turn up here like in numbers because their away fans are ridiculous and they'll just have a big party. So they might be up for it more than Wednesday. But again, when Portsmouth might be on piss, again, just for staying up, so you don't know. Portsmouth did put 5 past Norwich on the last day out as well. Then Wednesday's defence is quite iffy, to set least. Again, it's probably like a relegation threatened amount of goals conceded for Wednesday. And at home, they're crap. I know they bet Middlesbrough, but at home, they are crap. They've won that last game, and then no one was in last 9, last 8 even. I don't think Wednesday's score here because Portsmouth's defence is quite iffy as well, especially away from home. But I think this just could be a blowout that nobody cares about. I think it could be like a 3 apiece and not one person cares. We'll go for it. Goals galore at Hillsborough. And then finally, Monday night, Leeds versus Bristol City. This could be a one and on title. I can't even remember what I said for Burnley score, to be honest. But Leeds, I think, will win the league regardless. They've got a miles better goal difference. So if they win the last 2, they've done it anyway. Bristol City can afford to lose this still because Coventry and Middlesbrough do play each other on last game. But they could end up in 6th on last day, Bristol City. So very squeaky arsehole, and I do think they'll lose. I just want to put that out there now. I do think they will lose this game. Bristol City are very, 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 very good at home. Away, not so much. They get a lot of draws, which is fair enough, and it'll bode them well at playoffs that they get a lot of points away from home, but not a lot of wins, and they win loads of their own games. So they set up perfectly for playoffs regardless. Leeds, even if they were drinking from now to Monday morning, I still think they will win this game. They've got a lot of time to rest there. They should be fine, you'd think, for this game. And they're not daft. They'll want to be up for it. They will want to win that title. The fans will be up for it big time. Proper ones that go to games, that is, not ones that sit on their ass at home watching it with dodgy stick ticket. But they should win this game. They should win this game. I think they will win this game, like I said. I don't think it'll be humongous goals. Bristol City do keep it quite tight a lot of time. I'll probably say 2-1. But I think Leeds will have one and title after this game. So I'll go Leeds 2, Bristol City 1 to see it out. But that's that. Absolute pleasure. That's the second to last Championship predictions video done. Love you all. Make sure you like, subscribe if you do enjoy it. It does help me out quite a lot. Thank you as always for watching. There'll be League 1 tomorrow, then Premier League on Friday. We ain't done with that one. Love you all. A lot of videos coming. Sub, please. Thanks. Goodbye.
I say I'm a man. Yes, I'm a mucker. I think of me saying as a right good looker. I say up that. Show us bit it.